Greetings collectors and welcome to today's retro game review. You join us in part 9 of the Sega Saturn Capcom Fighter mini-series. In the last episode we saw how Capcom were able to cross worlds with the epic X-Men vs Street Fighter. Street Fighter and Marvel were now quite literally going head to head. Capcom's other franchise of Darkstalkers was bubbling along quite nicely in the background. April 1998 saw the release of Vampire Savior, Lord of Vampires on the Sega Saturn. The game features 18 characters, all with a monstrous style. The original cast are back, but with a new collection of even stranger characters. Its predecessor, Vampire Hunter, was a great game, simple and fun. Vampire Savior really ups the presentation and energy levels. Characters have wider movesets, blocks, and most noticeable, the combo system has been reworked. To power all of this, the game also makes use of the 4MB expanded memory cartridge, so if you'd previously bought X-Men vs Street Fighter, you're already reaping the benefits of superior games. The plot to Darkstalkers does continue in this game, although not particularly relevant, save for the cutscenes at the end of each playthrough. It revolves around the villain Jeddah looking to save the world by creating a new dimension called Magigen. It's all a bit far-fetched. Needless to say, the fighters of the underworld have various interests in ensuring that the world as they know it doesn't end. Much like Vampire Hunter, the game keeps to what it does best, and that's engaging high-speed fights, very much relying on its theme to differentiate itself. As much as I enjoy Vampire Hunter, Vampire Savior is by far the better game. Real thought has gone into the planning this time to deliver an experience that feels much more like a game that wants to be seen. It's always difficult to know whether to recommend a game or not. If you do enjoy 90s fighting games, then I think you know exactly what you're getting yourself in for. The gameplay is nowhere near as technical as the Street Fighter series, and much darker in tone than the Marvel games. Vampire Savior is a game that I will happily come back to again and again though. It's very easy going and very easy to pick up. There's enough of a challenge and variation though to keep you entertained for some time. Whilst the game is guilty of having a rather pixelated aesthetic, there is no denying that the character designs themselves are perhaps some of the best from the era. For that alone, I would suggest investigating this title. It's a real shame that Darkstalkers never really hit the mainstream when it was first released. Of all the characters, Morrigan has enjoyed the best notoriety, being featured in anime and various other Capcom crossover games. With Vampire Savior not really packing much of a punch on the Saturn outside of Japan, Capcom looked to fall back on another Versus game. This time around, it wasn't just X-Men, it was Marvel superheroes versus Street Fighter. Join me in the next episode as we look back at how this now fully fledged crossover world took the next step in reaching a wider audience and influencing Capcom's later games.
Don't miss the most amazing tag team fighting game ever! Are you ready for a new challenger? Victory! Marvel Superheroes versus